So, وما علمتم من الجوارح مكلبين تعلمونهم مما علمكم الله. What you've trained, teaching them from what Allah has taught you. This is a consistent Quranic attitude towards knowledge. You have knowledge that you impart, and you could impart even to an animal in training an animal. But all knowledge flows from the source of all knowing, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is why your ancestors maintained, or their attitude towards the suppression of the pursuit of knowledge, was that it's such a huge sin. Because what you learn, in fact, you are not learning it. It is Allah teaching it to you. And when you teach what you've learned, you are teaching what Allah taught you. In the same way that in the structure of rights and our covenantal relationship, the money that we say we own, actually we don't own, but we are entrusted with. And the bodies that we say we own, we actually don't own, but we are entrusted with. The knowledge that we acquire, we actually don't acquire. It's not our knowledge. It is God's knowledge that entrusted us with. And that is precisely why you have your relationship to this knowledge cannot be separated from your moral obligations. This is a bigger issue about in the philosophy of science in the West, there's often this whole thing about separating morality from scientific pursuits. In the Islamic outlook, you cannot separate ethics from the enterprise of knowledge, because you cannot separate God from the enterprise of knowledge. Every discovery that is made because of God and due to God. So you don't say, I discovered. You'd say, Allah led me to discover. Or you don't really say, I learned. You'd say, Allah led me to learn. And that is why when all said and done, when you sit with your bundle of knowledge, core, and I wish our graduate students would learn this, Muslim graduate students, is that core to your relationship of that knowledge, the dissertation that you've wrote, the books that you're planning, the articles that you're thinking about, is core to it, is your relationship with Allah and Allah having entrusted you with this knowledge. And that is precisely why if you end up using this knowledge for reasons that undermine al-birr wa taqwa, you're held responsible. And that is also why you are under an obligation to use your knowledge to promote al-birr wa taqwa, not to undermine al-birr wa taqwa. And the entire thrust of Surah Al-Ma'idah, as we will see, is that including using this knowledge to uphold Sha'air al-Islam, to uphold the ethics of Islam, because it is ultimately God's knowledge.